courage to stand up at the best of times, and it really takes courage to stand up now. So, thank you for doing that. It takes courage here because we know exactly how we're going to be portrayed by the mainstream media as far-right lunatics and conspiracy theorists, nutcases, grandma killers, whatever they think of, fascists, there's a flag out there somewhere or something. The mainstream media is never, ever, ever going to be on our side because they are only controlled by the very people we are fighting against. We're never going to get their acceptance and we should stop seeking it because we're well beyond that now. We're in a psychological war and we are the front line. All those people that are home getting their entire narrative from the BBC are never going to come and fight for us. But that doesn't mean that we don't fight for them. I've got nothing but love for every single one of you, for every single police officer, for every single counter-protester, for every single person sat at home watching us and shaking their head. Because hate and division is what's got us in this mess, and love and unity is what's going to get us out of it. The psychological war is dangling the carrot in front of us. If you do this, you can get your life back. If you do X, Y, and Z, you can get your life back. Newsflash. Governments do not take away freedoms and impose draconian impositions just to reverse it. In the same way a robber doesn't turn up the following morning and go, oh mate, sorry, here's your Xbox. It's not going to happen. But we take it back, and taking it back is a lot easier than people think. It's simply by non-compliance. We are the 99.99%, and when we stand together, it's over. It was just a 3-week lockdown to flatten the curve. And when the curve was flatter than building 7, it was extended and expanded because it was never about health, it was about control. The once great NHS was destroyed and rebranded as the COVID Health Service, nothing more than a propaganda arm of government. And while hospitals sat empty, cancer went undiagnosed, heart disease untreated, suicide spiked 200%, alcohol addiction, drug addiction, domestic violence, all through the roof. 25% of young Americans have said they contemplated taking their own lives in the last 6 months. 25%. And while all this was happening, we were told we could come out of our cages at 8 PM on a Thursday to applaud this destruction. Even while we lost our jobs and our livelihoods and our abilities to feed our families. Because it was never about health, it was about control. Get tested and you can have your life back. A test that doesn't even test for COVID-19, a test whose inventor Carrie Muller said should not be used to test for infectious diseases, but it is. And when they get their false positives that they desire, they use those tests to shut down your towns, shut down your cities, and take away your livelihoods. And with the 45 times amplification that the NHS are currently using on the PCR test, I'm surprised they've not found Lord Lucan and Shergar in someone's DNA. Wear a mask and you can have your life back. A mask that does nothing to stop the spread of viral particles, but everything to disrupt our intake of oxygen. Because like I say, it's not about health, it's about control. Politicians took the knee to protest the murder of George Floyd, a guy who was murdered saying he couldn't breathe, while mandated it for the entire population to wear muzzles so we can't breathe. Because it's not about health, it's about control. Get the vaccine and you can have your life back. A vaccine with 2 potential scenarios attached. Either it's an experimental vaccine that's been knocked up in 20 minutes by some lad in a car park behind bargain booths, has had no long-term testing, or even those vaccines that cause great damage and lead to billions. The vaccine damage payouts take years and years and years and years to develop. Sorry mate, I'm not following that. That's a symptom. Average amount of time it takes to develop a vaccine, 15-20 years. Coronavirus vaccines in history, none. But this one will be mandated. Either that or it's scenario 2. What is in this vaccine was ready all along. And COVID-19 is purely the Trojan horse to get it into every man, woman and child on the planet. Whichever one it is, the answer is exactly the same. A chance of it. You know, I understand all these things that I'm going on about are depressing, and I get that. Like in the morning, sometimes I'll get up and I'm like, I can't be dealing with this today. But the answer is dead simple. It is simply in saying no. I don't comply. I will not lock down. I will not wear a mask. I will not get tested. I will not get vaccinated. I will not accept the Orwellian new speak new normal. I will see my friends. I will hug my family. I will shake your hand. I will put my arm around you if you need comfort, because I'm a human and I'm going to act like a human. There's nothing normal about kids being put in boxes in the playground away from their friends. There's nothing normal about over 60s in care homes having do not resuscitate orders put on them without theirs or their family's consent, having their treatment withdrawn so they can die alone and have COVID-19 put on a death certificate when there's no evidence for it. There's nothing social about being distant. There's nothing normal about kids dying alone in hospital beds because their mums and dads are not allowed to be there with them. There's nothing normal about that, and I will not accept it. We are the 99.99%. We decide our futures, not them. But when we stand together in non-compliance, this whole game is over. It's 120 minutes. Centuries from now, people will talk about this time in history. Not because we were stripped of our humanity, but because we stripped away the veneer of authority and we took our humanity back. We are free, sovereign human beings, and it's time to start acting like it. I'll just leave you with this from Her Majesty's government. Notice this, Her Majesty's government, ain't yours and ain't mine. For 3 weeks, sign up to Netflix, put up your feet. We'll pay your wages, just keep your eyes shut, keep your head down, no family meetups. Flick on the TV and bathe in the fear. Because if you turn that propaganda off, this pandemic disappears. Control the virus, please stay alert, but not to the facts, because facts can cause hurt. It says there you've been sharing some uncomfortable facts on Facebook, sir. 8 PM Thursday, come to your door. Bid farewell to your freedoms with a round of applause. And while hospitals sit empty, it's tumbleweed round the clock. The only thing going viral here is going viral on TikTok. Do not resuscitate, do not resuscitate. These orders come from on high. Because the best way to protect the elderly is by allowing them to die. He can't breathe, we'll take the knee. Not you, have your face, and here's a bag full of muzzles for the kiddies. What do you mean you're exempt? Do as you're told. You thought this was about health. Nah, mate, this is about control. So give us your arm and give us your vein, because there's no human rights when you belong to the state. We've sold your body and we've sold you lies. Sold to the highest bidder, Bill Gates and his wife. Is this some kind of resistance, London? Is this some kind of resistance, London? Yeah, that's right. The people have risen. We reject this control. We reject this division. We are the ocean. We have the power. We are everything to which they aspire. I am you. I love you. And you are me. We are the 99%. We are humanity. And centuries from now, they will speak of this time. Not because we rolled over, but because we drew the line. The sleeping lion is stirring, it's starting to wake. But when that lion roars, checkmate. Love it.
That's Gareth Icke there on Saturday with a very nice bit of spoken word to round it off. But making a lot of very good points there, which I've got another reverse angle of that speech, which I'm going to play in a minute. But first up, let's just go to Anna Breeze's channel and let's hear from the German doctor who was denied the chance to speak at that rally, who spoke later at Hyde Park and was arrested for his efforts. But he made a very good statement when he emerged from Wandsworth Nick. There she is, Anna Breeze. So if you haven't heard about this story, let's just see. Here we are. German doctor, Dr. Heiko Schörning, arrested at Hyde Park. So here's his arrest. And if I know Anna put out his statement afterwards, she was quite surprised that this was actually taken off a channel. Is it still down? It still is down by the looks of it. Right, okay, let's just see, we'll find it. So his statement after he left was actually, right, copy. I can find it in my history anyway, but let's just do a quick search anyway and see what comes up. Paste, release Wandsworth. I'm putting this out live. See how long it lasts. Here we are. Release from Wandsworth. So this is worth listening to here.
Anyway, they arrested me. Very unlawful. But of course we will go on to tell the truth.
Yes,
And we will never give in. Question. They get some properties.
Well done.
Yay! Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well,
You must need.
yeah.
Yes.
So this one now around 22 hours. Yeah. Full arrestment. What happens here in Britain, and think of what's going on in this country. So if you don't have the right to speak out, and at the very place of Speaker's Corner in Hyde Park, what is this country going to? And what is the world going to? Yeah. So this is to speak out something. It's not an offense. And even under this very doubtful laws with COVID-19, even this is not an offense to arrest somebody. But you can see what happened yesterday on Hyde Park, on Speaker's Corner. People gathered peacefully, listened, and the police came. Don't ask. I did not any resistance, but straight away they arrested me, handcuffed me, and took me away. Took me away to talk to you and to tell the truth. The truth about what's going on COVID-19. I'm one of the founders of the extra parliamentary committee on COVID-19. You can read this up on acu2020.org. It's translated into 10 languages. Because the parliaments of the world failed to establish a proper inquiry committee, we the citizens have got the duty to perform this. And we in the COVID-19 Extra Parliamentary Inquiry Committee, we performed more than 20 hearings with experts, with witnesses, yeah. And I might now invite you internationally to take part of this movement. And I'm happy to say that in a lot of countries, not only in Europe, not only Spain, not only in the Netherlands, and so on, medical doctors stood up, told the truth, and the inquiry is going on. And I'm happy that this date now, with this demonstration on Trafalgar Square, now in the end of September, established something like the Doctors of Truth, Great Britain. So thank you very much for all your support.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we will go on, and we need to stand together. At the 27th of August, we had a great rally, a great demonstration in Berlin. More than 1 million people attended. And this was a great demonstration, a great festival of peace. So I would like to invite you on the 10th of October 2020 save the date, 10/10/2020, we will be millions in Berlin.
Right, there've already been large rallies in Berlin where Robert Kennedy Jr. Spoke. So that's Dr. Heiko Schoening. So, I mean, you can pull Scotland, YouTube. I mean, if you search that name, you'll come up with all sorts of stuff. Now, what I wanted to just do before we go back to the other angle of Gareth and his great talk and piece of spoken word poetry, this is something that I put up to the onto Yumpu today. There's a series of magazines here. Corona False Alarm Facts and Figures by Karina, Reiss and Sucharit Bhakdi. They're both German doctors, and they've published this evidence, facts and figures, etc. Ivor Cummings, the Fat Emperor, put this up this morning. Now, just one bit in here. What I've done is, you see, what you do is you press read, and then the magazine comes up, and I've embedded a few videos in here. Now, the very first video, I just wanted to play one clip from the two authors on this, where we see Madame Merkel, or Frau Merkel, Mutti, the German Chancellor, actually presenting evidence. And we've all seen, you know, our own Prime Minister, Handbook, or whatever he's called, the Secretary of State for Unhealth in the UK. If we just do this, you see, you flick through it like a magazine, and it works very well on a phone, etc. Now this one here, now what I'm going to do is just get that up. If you click on any of the links, they'll open in another thing here. Now, as I watched this earlier, I can take us to the bit I want to see just once. Where are we?
In einer Demokratie, meine Damen und Herren, muss es doch möglich sein, wenn es verschiedene Stimmen gibt, wenn es kritische Stimmen gibt, dass diese auch gehört werden und dass man sich austauscht darüber. Dass das nicht stattgefunden hat bisher, finden wir sehr bedauerlich. Und wir finden auch sehr schade, dass von Seiten der Regierenden, insbesondere hier auch von unserem Ministerpräsidenten und unserem Gesundheitsminister, gar kein Interesse daran war, bisher in eine Diskussion mit uns zu
This segment here, this gentleman is then followed by Mutti Merkel. So let's just pause that, because what I'm going to do is, you see, you put your subtitles on. They come up in German automatically, but then if you go to subtitles, you can auto-translate. It doesn't give you the best translation ever, but it means you can follow what's being said. English. And I'm going to play this bit next. This is actually on the YouTube channel of Dr. Sucharit Bhakdi. And right, let's just play this.
Die sind natürlich nicht völlig weg. Wenn Sie mal eine Sommergrippe hatten vielleicht, das können durchaus mal die klassischen Coronaviren gewesen sein. Aber der See sieht jetzt so aus, ja. Im Sommer sind nur noch ein paar Reihe Enten da. Dieses Stück Holz ist aber immer noch da. Und die anderen Vögelchen sind vielleicht auch noch da. Was passiert, wenn Sie jetzt ganz viele Tests machen, meine Damen und Herren?
Und wir müssen jetzt aufpassen, dass wir nicht nachher durch zu umfangreiches Testen, klingt jetzt total, muss erstmal immer um zwei Ecken denken, durch zu umfangreiches Testen zu viel Falsch-Positive haben. Weil die Tests ja nicht 100% genau sind, sondern auch eine kleine, aber eben auch eine Fehlerquote haben. Und wenn sozusagen insgesamt das Infektionsgeschehen immer weiter runtergeht und Sie gleichzeitig das Testen auf Millionen ausweiten, dann haben Sie auf einmal viel mehr Falsch-Positive als tatsächlich Positive.
Ja. Keiner kann es besser erklären als Herr Spahn. Aber um das zu verstehen, muss man, wie er nachher sagt, um zwei Ecken denken. Und das hat er dann vielleicht doch nicht ganz hinbekommen. Dann hat er das Gegenteil davon gemacht, was er gerade gesagt hat. Hier hat er das gesagt. Was haben wir gemacht? Wir haben unsere Teste ins Millionenfache erhöht. Genau das, was man nicht tun darf, meine Damen und Herren, wenn nichts mehr da ist, was Sie zählen können. Wir sind jetzt inzwischen über 1 Million Tests pro Woche in einer Zeit, in der die Coronaviren gar nicht da sind. Was dann passiert, ist natürlich das, was Herr Spahn gerade so schön erklärt hat. Es sieht so aus, als ob wir eine Zunahme an Neuinfektionen haben. Und auch das wurde uns tagtäglich in den Medien erzählt in den letzten Tagen und Wochen, ob Sie die Tagesschau angeschaltet haben oder was auch immer. Eine Zunahme an Neuinfektionen, die zweite Welle, oh Gott. Tatsächlich müssen diese Werte selbstverständlich ebenfalls korrigiert werden auf die Anzahl der Testzahlen. Und Sie sehen, dass hier überhaupt nichts passiert ist. Warum auch? Die Coronaviren sind in der Sommerpause. Sie sehen das auch sehr schön, wenn Sie schauen, wie viel Prozent sind eigentlich positiv gewesen von den getesteten Menschen. Ich sagte Ihnen schon so, 1 bis 2 andere Enden oder Holzstücke finden Sie ebenfalls. Also ungefähr hier liegt der Schwellenwert. Wir hatten die klassische Corona-Welle in den Wintermonaten bis ungefähr Mai und ab Mitte Mai sind wir ins Rauschen gerutscht. Seit Mitte Mai gibt es keine Neuinfektionen mehr, die nicht im Hintergrundrauschen sind. Und eine Sache ist auch ganz wichtig, die leider auch den Menschen in diesem Land nicht richtig erklärt wird. Ein RT-PCR-Test aus dem Labor bedeutet nicht, dass Sie eine Infektion haben. Es ist nicht erlaubt, mit dem RT-PCR-Test eine Diagnose zu führen. Dieser Test ist nicht dazu zugelassen und nicht dafür geeignet, so wie er zurzeit überall auf der Welt durchgeführt wird. Er sagt überhaupt nichts darüber aus, ob es echte und überhaupt infektiöse SARS-CoV-2-Viren sind, die da gefunden wurden. Also keine erhöhte Anzahl an Neuinfektionen, nur eine erhöhte Anzahl an Testungen mit entsprechend falsch positiven und ein paar echt positiven Ergebnissen. Was sagt Frau Merkel dazu?
Wir werden noch länger mit diesem Virus leben müssen. Und deshalb ist meine Grundhaltung eine der Wachsamkeit, der Aufmerksamkeit. Gerade jetzt, da die Infektionszahlen wieder so deutlich über die letzten Wochen gestiegen sind.
Ja, Frau Merkel, wo sind die deutlich gestiegenen Infektionszahlen? Was hier passiert, meine Damen und Herren, ist Volksverdummung. Ja, nichts anderes. Und Sie können mir auch nicht erzählen, dass eine promovierte Physikerin diese Zahlen nicht deuten kann. Ich verstehe es tatsächlich nicht und können wir nachher auch drüber sprechen. Warum tischen uns die Politiker die ganze Zeit irgendwelche Lügen auf?
Professor Reiss or Dr. Reiss says there that Frau Merkel, Mutti, is actually a doctor of physics. She was a member of the academy in East Germany, and I think maybe she learned everything she knows about propaganda from the Stasi or something. But anyway, that's very well worth looking at, and obviously that video is the German video, but the book that these two doctors have written has been translated to English, and you can read it here on Yumpu. You can download it. The description has all of the stuff. Now here's Ivor Cummings's Fat Emperor channel where he talks about this stuff. UK column news there embedded, and then if we just get to the index here, let's just go to that. Right, how dangerous corona situation, too much, too little. Where are we? On the PDF you can jump between pages, but it's all in there, and you can follow the whole talk. There are quite a few videos that you can just click on the link and you get to the channel. So that's that. Now, what I'm going to do now is go back and play out with the other angle. This was sent by a friend of me, one of my friends today on WhatsApp. And this is an alternative angle, better angle than the one on Gareth's own channel, I think. But here we go. Let's just play out with this.
Grandma killers, whatever they think of, fascists. Is there a flag out there somewhere or something? The mainstream media is never, ever, ever going to be on our side because they are owned and controlled by the very people we are fighting against.
Yeah.
We're never going to get their acceptance, and we should stop seeking it because we're well beyond that now. We're in a psychological war, and we are the front line. All those people that are home getting their entire narrative from the BBC are never going to come and fight for us. But that doesn't mean that we don't fight for them.
Yeah.
I've got nothing but love for every single one of you, for every single police officer, for every single counter-protester, for every single person sat at home watching us and shaking their head. Because hate and division is what's got us in this mess, and love and unity is what is going to get us out of it. The psychological war is dangling the carrot in front of us. If you do this, you can get your life back. If you do X, Y, and Z, you can get your life back. Newsflash. Governments do not take away freedoms and impose draconian impositions just to reverse it. In the same way a robber doesn't turn up the following morning and go, oh mate, sorry, here's your Xbox. It's not going to happen. But we take it back, and taking it back is a lot easier than people think. It's simply by non-compliance. We are the 99.99%, and when we stand together, it's over. It was just a 3-week lockdown to flatten the curve. But when the curve was flatter than building 7, it was
Oh, that's interesting. What's happened here? Okay, looks like they're shutting me down on YouTube here. They don't like that. Let's just see if we can. Quite sure what to do about that now. So we can always try and refresh. Anyway, look, I'm going to end that broadcast now. You can go back to the beginning of this video if it lasts on YouTube. I'm not sure how long it'll last on YouTube or Facebook. I will put it up on my BitChute channel later. I think Gareth will probably have a BitChute channel too, so we'll get it up onto Web3 or the distributed web later. But clearly the censors really don't want this stuff coming out because these are all distinguished, well-known frontline medical doctors. And if you don't know about BitChute, perhaps it's time to find out. There are other alternative Web3 things, BitTubers. Anyway, so this is my Tone Freaks. My name is Roger Lewis. Tone Freaks my hacking name, and this is my BitChute channel. Lots of interesting stuff here. This is a good one, Trust 2. It's a German documentary about the World Health Organization. Very good. Both Vaxxed movies are actually blocked on BitChute, but you can see not before they garnered the best part of 25,000 views. Banned London Real interview, the first David Icke Rose video. There have been 5 now. Worth watching. Dr. Rashid Buttar here. Again, he's a holistic medical practitioner in the States. Interesting guy. There's another guy called what's he called? Big Tree. Dale Big Tree. I think he produced the first Vaxxed movie and was involved with Robert Kennedy Jr. in the second one. All sorts of interesting stuff here. Dr. Judy Markovitz, who found out various problems with AIDS medications, mouse DNA, etc., and some of the stuff that goes in vaccines that doesn't work so well. There's stuff that's covered in the German doctors' coronavirus thing. They talk about the different types of vaccines, and they say something about with the swine flu, VIPs got given one kind of vaccine, and the rest of us got another kind which had all the shit in it. But you can read about that, that's about it really. Like I say, I'll get back to Gareth's spoken word and get that up on BitChute later. I mean, I've got everything I need to bung it together into a not live interview, but hey, it shows how on it 77 Brigade, which is one of Signal's regiment, Tobias Elwood MP, the fascist cunt, is actually the commanding officer of 77 Brigade, should be drummed out of the Houses of Parliament, frankly. Same with Bernard Jenkin, who's also a spook. Keir Starmer, who's also a bloody spook. They're everywhere, these bloody spooks. I mean, the Cold War is over, people, and they've declared it on you. We are the new enemy. And frankly, actually, it's them. And we mustn't pay them any mind. They are substandard, subpar, otherwise challenged, socially inept, and generally not very nice. What do we do with not very nice people? Well, we ignore them, and if they persist, then we take the piss out of them. So my friend John Ward at the blog at the Slog has done this piss take of man flu halfcock. The real COVID threat, health supremo lashes out. So there we are. Plenty of other stuff in that vein, and as I say, listen to Gareth Icke's spoken word. It's really very, very good. So over and out. Be lucky, have a great day, and yeah, think for yourself, do your own research.